All right, so this is just a demonstration of the new app that we have. So the name of the app is called Storage Lock Manager. It looks like this in the bottom left-hand corner. So if we open this up, the first thing you're going to see is a drop-down menu at the top here for choosing your facility. You're just going to have one to choose from, but for me, I'm able to see all of our facilities. So let's start off by just choosing one of them. Once you choose one, it's going to allow you to go into the different formats and the different features of the app. So step one, when you come to the facility, you're going to go to the return locks container, and you're going to open it up, and then whatever locks you're in there, we just have to go take those out and make sure that they're marked in our system as available. So if I click on the manage all locks section, what that is going to do, it's going to populate a list of all of the locks that we have. And what you're going to do is take the locks out of the return lock box. You're going to look at the serial number, and you're going to find it in here in this list. So say, for instance, it's, 1F, this one here. All you're going to do is click on it, and then you're going to make sure that it's probably going to look like something like this, assigned overlock. You're just going to change that status to available, and then you're going to hit update. And it's going to update in our system. And what that does is let us know that that lock is available for use. Okay, so that's step one. The next step you're going to do is go under the delinquent units tab, which is on the bottom. It's right there. This is going to tell you which overlock or which units you have to go and put overlocks on. So units that already have information on there should have a lock on them already. Okay, so for instance, number 3 here says that lock serial number 1L39Y4K3 is already assigned to that lock. So we don't have to put a lock on there. We'll just double check to make sure that lock is on there. But for instance, unit 48, we would click on that. We'll take a serial code or a lock with us, and we're going to assign that to overlock because we're in the delinquent units tab. And we're going to choose whatever lock that we have in our hand. Say it's this one. And it's going to pair that unit with that serial number, so that way we know. Then you just hit update. I'm just going to hit cancel. And you go ahead and do that for all the ones that do not have locks in there. Same thing with the vacant units. You'll go through. If there's vacant units, you're just going to do the same process. Click on them. It's going to bring you up the same screen. The only thing that you're going to change is under status. Instead of hitting assigned overlock, you're just going to say assigned vacant. That way we know that unit is vacant. That's why the lock is on there. And the last thing you're going to do is under overlocks to remove. These are people who were delinquent at one point but then paid, so they have a lock on their unit, but it should not be on their unit. What you're going to do is just go through and you're going to remove these locks. Okay, so for instance, this was a vacant unit. It looks like number 15. It was rented, so it's going to populate in here as well. So if we click on this, we're going to go get that lock, take it off the lock. When we take it off the unit, we want to make sure that the tenant lock is on that unit, though. We don't want to take off a unit or a lock on a unit and it not have a lock on there, which allows people to get into it. So if there's a lock in here that's on the overlocks to remove and there's only our lock on it, what you're going to do is go through and you're just going to change the status of that to tenant using lock. So that way we know this person's using our lock. He doesn't have one of his own. We need to charge that person. Okay, but if you go over there and it's in overlocks to remove and there's a tenant lock on it, you're just going to change the status to available as you take it off. And that's pretty much it for this section of the app. Pretty basic and straightforward. So if I hit the home screen to go back here, next sections are the move outs and the tasks. And these are very simple. Essentially, if there's somebody that requests to move out, you're going to have a record in here. So for instance, if I put a dummy one in here, 20, we can choose the date. A lot of times people will let us know they're moving out at the end of the month. So you want to make sure you check that date. If it's not past that date yet, do not open the unit. Just leave it alone until that date comes past. It's going to be a not checked yet, and we can select a user. Okay. And if I hit create move out. So as you doing your lock audit, this is what you're going to see on the screen. It's going to say, okay, unit number 20 is a move out. We haven't checked it yet. So you're going to go to unit number 20, check the unit, make sure it's ready to rent. It's clean. door is working properly, hasp is working properly. And then what you're going to do is, okay, you have a lock with you. You're going to lock that unit. And if you click on where it says DaVinci Lock, you're just going to pick from the whatever lock you have in your hand. So say it's that one. We're going to assign that to a vacant unit because it is vacant. It is now ready for rent. And then if we hit update, it's going to put that information in there. I'm not going to put that information in there. But once you're done with that, you're just going to hit where it says not checked yet. And you're going to hit ready for rent. And it's going to move that over to where it says completed move outs. So that way you know, okay, that one's complete, ready to go. And we have a record of that. Okay, and you're going to do that for each one that is in that list. The tasks is the same thing. If I put a task in here, 20, check hasp. We're going to set the status as not checked yet. And we're going to select the user. Perfect. Create task. All right, so you're going to log in. This is what you're going to see. So it's going to say unit 20, check hasp. So for instance, if we have to come in and somebody calls and says the door is not working properly, the reason why we have a DaVinci Lock section here is because a lot of times we have to call a door company. They have to come out and change the locks and they have to get into the unit. So we'll tell the tenant to remove their lock from the unit so that way we can put our lock on it and we can give that code to the garage door company. And it's the same process. You just click on that and you would put in there the lock. Lock status can be anything. It doesn't really matter. Then you would update it. But for instance, you go and check the hasp. Okay, it's bad hasp, but we swap it out. You've completed the task. Just click on new task and hit complete. Perfect. And it's going to push it over to the completed tasks. If, for instance, you can't do, you're in progress or you're unable to complete it for whatever reason, you can check it as unable to complete. Okay, it will bring it back and you can put a note in there. Well, you should be able to put a note in there. We'll make sure you can put a note in there as to why. Okay, but that's pretty much it for that. And the last thing is the lock audit. So after you're done with all those, you're just going to walk the facility. This lock audit has a number for each unit, and all we want you to do is go through, and if one of the units has a lock on it, we just want to mark in this lock audit as overlocked. If it doesn't, we're going to leave it as current. And the way you do that is very simply. So for instance, yeah, these are all overlocked. Let's see if we can find one that doesn't have a lock. So like this one says current. It's showing a DaVinci Lock. You go to unit 11, there's a lock on it. All you do is you tap the current and you just hit overlocked. And that's it. That's really all we need you to do there. And then once you go through them all, you are going to hit the little paper airplane in the top right corner. And you can select the user to send it to. And you send it to me. Boom. And it'll say, great, you sent it. And then that's it. So that's what you're going to do each time you go to the facility. Hopefully this app makes it a little bit easier so you're not bouncing back and forth between multiple apps.